Hello everyone, in this video I will be showing you the power of the bishops. Okay, so the bishops are very powerful pieces, especially when you have the pair because of their long scope. Okay, so the idea of having the bishops is that this will help you with some games to find some creative sequences of sacrifices and forceful checkmates against your opponents. So in this position, and I will be showing you actually two positions, right? And hopefully these patterns will help you remember and maybe you'll be able to apply them for your own games. Okay, these concepts. And here the idea will be we need to find the move bishop takes h7 check. Okay, if we find this move and they capture the bishop with the king, then we just bring our queen to h5. Only response for them would be king g8. And here we have to find a second amazing move. Because let's think about it. If we try to bring the rook for a rook lift, they can try to push their pawns forward. They can try to escape. Somehow we need to be very precise with our moves, right? And we only have one move in this position that keeps the advantage for the white pieces. Everything else gives an advantage for the black pieces because they can try to defend. So here we have to find the move bishop takes g7. If they don't do anything about it because they want to threaten some checks or something, we just have checkmate in one. So they actually have to capture this bishop here. And here we have to find the sequence of moves that gives the advantage and keeps the advantage and also provides a forceful checkmate, or they have to just give away. They have to give all these pieces. Okay, but still checkmate's unstoppable. If you haven't seen this video of pawn stop, it's the video prior to this one, go check it out, okay? And the idea of this is that we would like to find these forceful moves. Queen g5 check pushes the king toward the corner, and here we have to find the move queen f6 check. The idea of this move is that we're preventing the pawn push because they can try to help their king by bringing more pieces closer to it, right? So the idea of this is like if the king goes to g8, for example, we have the move rook c4. And you may be thinking, what happens if I just bring the rook to c3? Then we give him time to bring the bishop here. And if we give a check, they can just defend with their bishop. So we have to be precise with this move because here now we have this move, bishop c4, and they don't have the bishop on e4 because you can just capture it like this. And then checkmate's unstoppable. Okay, so here they would, after this move, we find the move rook c4. They will just give away the bishop or something. Let's say they make a move to give try to give a checkmate to us. But here we'll just find the move rook g4 check, only move for the black pieces, and we just finish the game with queen g7 checkmate. Okay, so that was the first line that we needed to calculate. So here we have the second line. After the check, they don't capture the bishop, but they go to h8. Here we will have to find the move queen h5, right? We want to give a discover attack. Let's say they find the best move. Let's say here we wouldn't capture with the queen, we will capture with the pawn because the threat's still there. Okay, so let's say what if they do something like this instead? So here we just have bishop bishop b1 or bishop anywhere really, because that's a discover check only move, and we can just give a checkmate to them. Okay, so let's look at the second position. And the second position, again, the power of the bishops, they're very strong, but we need to know how to use them, okay? So here we have a puzzle, right? An exercise. And when we see these exercises, we are thinking of checks, captures, attacks, or threats, right? And we're looking for forceful things. And maybe when it comes to like puzzle, and you know this is an exercise, you may be thinking right away, knight takes f6 check. That would be the first thing people would think about right away. And even though it's kind of nice, and you may be thinking, oh, they can just capture with a pawn and you come in, you know, and then if they don't do anything, you can just bring the queen and everything. There's like a checkmate threat and all these things, right? But keep in mind that they don't have to capture with the pawn, because you're thinking, oh, if they capture with the pawn, because if they capture with the rook, you can just take the rook. But in this position, it's very nice to just capture it with the rook, because if you capture this, now you're having two pieces for the rook, and that's not too bad. The black pieces have a lot of pieces still, right? So we need to be careful and to be precise with our moves. So here we actually have to find the move knight g5. it is a very tricky move, because you may be thinking, hey, they can just capture it. Let's capture the knight. But the idea of this move is that now we're opening different lines and the file and diagonals for the bishops, especially here the dark square bishop is activated now, right? So here we will have to find the move bishop h7 check. Let's say they go to h8. Now we just sacrifice our bishop again, just like in the previous exercise, we sacrifice our bishop, right? So here if they just capture the bishop, we would just have queen g6 check, only move for the black pieces, and here we have a very subtle move with rook h3, ready to give a checkmate to the opponent. So let's say they find this move queen d7. Now you just have the discovered check here, and the king cannot capture the bishop because it's defended by the queen. They would just have to give away the queen like this, so they can just capture here on h3. You will be able to just capture here the queen, and let's say they capture the bishop here. Now you just have checkmate in 1, right? So the idea of the bishop pair is that this can give you some amazing games, memorable games, immortal games, because we can consider certain sacrifices and forceful things. We just need to be careful with our calculation. We shouldn't get too excited, you know, but we need to be precise, accurate, and think of the different responses of your opponent. Don't just think of like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice this piece, they have to capture it. Sometimes they don't have to capture it. And again, if you haven't seen the pawn stop video, go check it out. That's a very useful resource for you, and hopefully that will also help you win some games with these new concepts that you're learning. Okay, so again, like, comment, subscribe. That helps us a lot for these videos, and I hope you really enjoyed and gain some insights from this video. I will see you on the next one.